Now on to something more serious. Russians strongly warn the U.S. against striking the Syrian army. Now they are no longer. We have understand what's happening here. Well, actually, let me read this to you, and then I'll explain what's happening. The Russian military on Thursday strongly warned the United States against striking the Syrian army, noting that the air defense weapons in Syria stand ready to fend off an attack. Now, the Russians are not saying to America, "Don't you dare attack us." They're saying, "Don't you dare attack the Syrian army." Russian Defense Minister spokesman Major General Igor Kashlikov said any U.S. strike on areas controlled by Syrian President Bashar al Assad's government could jeopardize the lives of Russian servicemen. He said Moscow was worried by media reports alleging that Washington was pondering the possibility of striking Syrian army positions. Quote, I would recommend our colleagues in Washington to carefully weigh possible consequences of the fulfillment of such a plan. Now, I want you to ask a question to yourself for a moment. Why are we there? Why exactly are we in Syria? Now, if the first answer that comes to mind is, well, we're fighting ISIS. ISIS that used to be Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda used to be the threat. Now it's ISIS. Just shifted. Now, don't forget that we funded ISIS, that ISIS was created because we decided that we needed to fund the good rebels. Some of those, we talked yesterday about Hillary Clinton's debacle and the gun running operation that she was involved with. A lot of those weapons went from Libya into the hands of the Syrians, the Syrian rebels, quote unquote ISIS. John McCain even went so far as to say that we needed to fund ISIS. We have tape of him saying it, which is what made his little tweet he posted out earlier so embarrassing. John McCain said, a powerful Washington Post read, this is from his tweet, in Aleppo, U.S. inaction green lights war crimes. I mean, the stones on this guy to actually come out after everything that he's done, after being wrong time and time and time again on foreign policy. The man's never seen a war he didn't like, that he wasn't willing to send some other guy's son or daughter off to fight, who never turned away from a fight that someone else had to fight, is now saying that it's our inaction that's causing all of this travesty. No, John McCain, let me set the record straight. It's your action that has caused this travesty in the Middle East. You are the cause of ISIS. You allowed it to spring up. You created this mess when you took us into Iraq, and after that, after you supported the promotion of the ousting of Israeli president, and then the Libyan president, and then the Syrian president. You are responsible for this. It's your bad policy that now you continue to just drive home. It's just like it's just the same thing over and over and over again. You're to blame for this. But why are we there? Well, we're not there for ISIS. If we were there for ISIS, why would we be messing around with Assad? Wouldn't we be wanting to kill ISIS? Wouldn't we be trying to join the Russians and the Syrian government in beating back ISIS? Wouldn't it be far better that we do that? Well, no, because we have other ulterior motives. You see, we need Assad out of there. Now, why, you might ask? Well, and more importantly, why would the Russians want so badly for him to stay in? Well, it could be that the Russians just looked at what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan and in Libya and how we screwed up all of those countries. And he's saying, you know what? Syria is just a little bit too close to our back door. And we're just tired of all of this happening, and we don't think overthrowing another dictator is the best thing for America to be doing right now. So you know what? We're going to step in, and we're going to support Assad against ISIS in the hopes that maybe he can maintain power and maintain control. That might be what you were thinking. And truth be told, that's probably part of the discussion that they're having. But the bigger discussion they're having is who controls the oil and natural gas that flows through that area. See, right now, Assad and Russia are cozy. Russia's pipelines run through Syria and into Europe. And they have a large monopoly on all of that money that flows from Russia into Europe. Now, Saudi Arabia, some of those other countries that are a little little closer to the United States, boy, they would love to have a track straight up north through Syria. They'd love to be able to use that area for their own pipeline. In fact, if I remember right, they've already started some construction. Either that or they already have the building plans laid out. Well, you see, that pesky Assad, he's in the way. He's keeping all of that oil from flowing up north. Truthfully, the Europeans are probably looking at it and saying, man, we sure would like to have Assad out of there because it sure would be nice to have our oil coming from a few different places or our natural gas coming from a few different places. But why is America there? What is our business in trying to oust Assad? We don't have one, other than the fact that it supports our allies who want to build a pipeline, and they can't do that with Assad all cuddled up next to Russia. So Russia is trying to maintain its financial dominance in the region, as well as as well as maintain its security in the region by keeping someone that they have close ties to in power. And we are there doing what? That's the question that you have. There's nothing good that's going to come out of there. The best thing that America could do is get out of Syria. But whether you're talking to Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or Congress or the president, every one of these stupid knuckleheads thinks that we need to do something over there. Well, we got to do something because they're killing babies. Like we never been responsible for that. Like it's laughable. It's so funny. Oh, there's the atrocities that are going on over there. The atrocities. How can we stand by, John McCain? How can we stand by and allow these war crimes to be committed? It's criminal. And they got the base all riled up. The truth is, we're responsible for it. We're the ones perpetuating it. The one thing that we could do if we wanted to end this, if we wanted to end all this atrocity, is we would simply leave. We would let Assad and Russia crush ISIS and drive them back out of Syria. Now, sure, they're going to reconstitute somewhere else, but they won't be in Syria anymore. And then things would stabilize and a rebuilding would begin.